right, little update on the Monster. Here are the motor wires that you can see. They're just, there's some soot on them, but there's no damage to anything in there, which was good. I expected there to be a little bit of damage on this because that thing was sitting right there, right above where the fire was. And there is nothing. There's no melted wires. It's a lot better than what I thought because there was some flame that was going on up in this area, and there is some wiring like up in this top up here, and there isn't even soot in any of this area, so that's good. So we're going through, and it's been a while since I've flown this thing, so yeah. Got to check and make sure shit is tight and not loose and doing what it's supposed to be doing, making sure there's no chafing, all that kind of good stuff on here. This is an old helicopter, so I figured that I went back and looked in the records. I repainted this in 2014. That means that ESC was prior to 2013, which I'm sure was even further than that. He had this long time before he actually gave it to me. So I imagine that ESC in there was pre-2013. So I've got a new one sitting here, and I went and looked, and this had, where did I see it? I saw a revision date of 2015 in here. So no telling how long they did the revisions, but it is brand new, and we're going to throw it back in there. We're going to do some maintenance while we're in here, do some lubing, do some checking, make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. It flew great before the ESC decided to take a complete dump, and yeah, it's funny. So that's what we're going to do, and yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're building something. We're rebuilding something with new stuff. Yeah, we're doing our thing. I found the other capacitor. It's still on here. There's still shit coming off of it, but yeah. Well, hopefully the new one is better than this one. I've got a lot of hours on this thing, and Jack had a lot of hours on it before he gave it to me or traded it to me for a whole bunch of other stuff. Long time ago. And back in, 2013, I think, is when he finally said, take this son of a bitch. All right, got the new ESC in on a new board. Got everything soldered up, connected. Got it spun up. Got it calibrated, and everything works so far. The only issue I have is with my little teeny tiny ass computer. I don't ever connect it to the internet, and when I went to go try to connect it to the internet, it said there's nothing found. So I can't even find my current Wi-Fi on here. So issue. But I've got everything in here. I'm going to put the batteries in and put the covers back on, and we're going to test it out tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, a little bit. Interesting things have come about with the Monster. One thing, it looks like I have a blade that is out of track, like a lot. So we'll figure out if that is something that is bent. Oh shit, hang on. Come on. This is like the worst fucking... All right, maybe now I got my camera's all woppy beguddled. So, there's a tracking issue. I loosened up the blades a little bit. It got a little bit better. But this is a finicky head. If anybody have ever seen me fly this thing, like I've got to be at, you know, full hover pitch while I'm spooling it up, or else it gets into a resonance. The OF heads, they're kind of finicky like that. So, okay, not a big deal. I can handle that. The interesting thing today with the new ESC is it ran much cooler. Like, before I wasn't able to put my hand on it for any more than a couple seconds. Always got hot. Same with the motor. Motor always got hot. I didn't change any of the settings in the old program. I just loaded up what I had saved from before and put it on and see if it would run. Calibrated the ESC to the radio, all that kind of good stuff. Normal things. Now it is half as hot, which is great, but it's interesting. Why now is it not as hot? So even the motor was not as hot. So weird shit. So as far as flying it around, flew great. Take a look at the 360 video, which I didn't delete this time. I deleted a whole bunch of video that I had done with the camera attached to the helicopters last weekend when I went to 2 different fun flies. That video's all gone. Damn it. Pissed me off. Because I put that onto a different computer, which is old. It's like, here's the thing, Mike. All your shit's old. I don't know. We'll take a look. But there, we got it fixed. It's flying. It's not going with sparks shooting out each side of it. That was fun. So, but anyway, all right, kids, get out there and build something. All right, so went through it this evening and checked on. I was really curious because the blades were really out of track. Well, this would be why. Okay, here's my first set of numbers that I got out. I got 2 that are exactly the same. I got one that's high and one that's low, and that's like a lot. And I went through, looked at all the stuff, didn't find anything that was weird. So I just went through and adjusted my links to get them, you know, within 0.2 of each other. So this was the fix. This was all low. This was the high. And this was exact mid stick on the radio. And going it's weird how some of this stuff works, because your pitch is going to be different when you measure it if you go from low to mid, and then if you go from high to mid. 2 different measurements. It's always been like that. On every single freaking machine I've got, that's what it does. If you go from full pitch down, it's going to be a different measurement than if you go from low pitch to mid. We got this figured out. I got them all. They're pretty damn close on all their stuff. And so we'll take it out tomorrow and give it another test run and see how it does. All right, test number 2 on the new ESC. Last night we did the whole checking of the pitch. Found, you guys saw it. One was low, one was high, and 2 were even. So I wanted to see how well it did, and it still has a vibration in it, a little bit, but most helicopters do. And these blades are old; they're bent. You know, it flies, and it flies a little bit better today. The blades were in much better track than what they were yesterday that we noticed. So just need to get out and fly it. But the caveat for all of this situation with the ESC was that I looked into my Sky Crane. Sky Crane has an ICE 160 in it. So, needless to say, that one's getting ripped out because I am not going to go through having my ESC disintegrate in the Sky Crane. So, more than likely what's going to happen is I have another Edge 120. I could probably put that into this one and then put the 160 in the crane, and then we'll be good. So, but anyway, yeah, it works. We'll take a look at the footage and